started when I was about 22. I went to a tattoo convention, and it was like, you know, when light just comes into your life, or like it hits you, you're like,
where I should be.
Yeah, because I just saw people drawing from all parts of the world and different styles, and I said, I like this. I feel this is what I want to get into.
You've mentioned a love for your community. How has this shaped your career and approach to tattooing?
I feel like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. They gave me an opportunity with the art. And so I think that encouraged me and inspired me to just keep pushing myself and how much more I can grow or bring to them.
Can you share a tattoo project that pushed your skills to new levels?
I think I really feel it with portraits, especially if someone doesn't have a good photo of that person. I have to reconstruct it from others.
How do you manage the precision of realism while staying artistically inspired?
When clients come to me and they ask me for something, but then they say, you have total freedom, do whatever you want to do to this. I get excited. I just think, okay, let me just make sure I catch what the client wants to see in this. Everything else is just whatever feels right, but while also experimenting with what looks good and what's going to last a long time too.
What role do you believe tattoos play in your clients' personal journeys of healing or self-expression?
I think it plays a very important role, especially portraits. I see a lot of like joy that now they have their loved one with them, and then now they can like face the next day.
What advice would you give an emerging tattoo artist?
I think what I took when I was starting out was to just
straight up, yeah, you know we can't wait up. Hustle from the
All right, cool. So this is Neil with Ink Got Tattoos, and we're back with another episode of Bigger Than Tattoos podcast. We have Seidy here from Seidy Inc. Tell us about where they can find you at.
Thank you, Neil. Yes, Seidy Inc. I'm based out in Clearwater.
Clearwater, okay.
Vastro Tattoos.
Vastro, that's correct. Yes. So, Seidy, so why don't you tell us about, a little bit about where you're from, like, a little bit about yourself and where you're from, where you grew up at.
Clearwater is definitely where I grew up, but I was born in Zacapu, Michoacán. Mm-hmm. And if you know where Mexico City is, like South Central, it's kind of right neighboring next to that. So like Guanajuato, Jalisco, if you've heard of the tequila place.
And that's where you were born?
That's where I was born.
How long did you live out there before you moved to the States?
I was a baby when my parents decided to move to California. So we moved around a lot since when I was little. And so I grew up in California, Colorado, and then we went back to Mexico when I was about, I want to say like 6 years old.
Yeah.
I was there about 3 years, and then I came back here to Florida. And I've been ever since down here, I think since I was like 10.
That's what's up. That's amazing.
Bam! Back on y'all again. Hey, listen, I got this aftercare product I want to show you, right? This is my foam wash. It's all natural. This is my ink paste ointment. It's all natural. These both heal you really, really fast when you use them together. This is 15, this is 25, but I'm going to give them both to you for 30 if you go get it from my website. Check it out.
So, like, when did you start tattooing? Like, what got you...
Tattooing?
Well, first of all, before we get into that, I mean, obviously, you've always been an artist, right?
Drawing, yes. I think I've always been drawing since I realized what I was doing.
Yeah, since you realized it.
Because of the moving and going back and forth with English and Spanish when I was in Mexico, it was hard to pick up on the Spanish fluently. So I just started drawing whatever I saw. And I think that's when I just like noticed,
oh, I can draw.
I can draw. Yeah.
And
I like it.
I'm sure every other people was also saying like you can draw, like where the skills, giving you confidence and stuff like that.
Yeah. To me, it was just like for fun. And then, but the way they would react inspired me like, oh, maybe I could do a little more with this.
Yeah. So that was when you was younger, you started drawing. When did you actually start like moving towards tattoos?
That started when I was about 22. I was in college. I was just working in telemarketing, just trying to make money for the bills. And because by then my bilingual skills were stronger, so I was playing both of the language skills and just being here. And so I went to a tattoo convention from a friend who invited me. I had never even heard of them. It was in Tampa, the Tattoo Fest. And it was like, that when light just comes into your life, or like it hits you, you're like,
where I should be.
Yeah, because I just saw people drawing from all parts of the world, women and men, and different styles. And I said, I like this. I feel this is what I want to get into. And my friends too were like, oh, Seidy, you like to draw. You should totally
do
get into it.
Yeah. You should.
So that little voice gets into your mind and that little seed, and you start nurturing it, really becoming real.
Yeah. So how long have you been tattooing?
I would say since 2010, roughly,
Yeah.
almost 13.
I mean, I see some of your work. Your work is awesome. Like, you got some really good work, especially with your black and gray shade. I seen this dog that you did, and I was like, I seen that there's so much hair. Was in, I think it was like a Yorkie or something.
Probably, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, there's a lot of detail. You put white in there and everything. So, can you tell me a little bit about the process? Like, when you get a tattoo client and they want to book with you, like how does that usually go? Like,
A lot of times with word of mouth, people will see my work and they'll see it somewhere. So, oh, who did your tattoo? And then I tell my clients, give them my name, my Instagram, or the shop card. Now I can give them a number. But they'll reach out to me. Hey, I saw your tattoo and it was so cool. And I want to get like the portrait.
yeah,
I want to get something of my fur baby or
yeah.
a loved one.
I saw some portraits too. You got some nice portraits.
Thank
nice smooth shading too. Nice smooth shading. So I did notice that.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Awesome. So yeah, like I'm saying, so it says you excel in black and gray realism, animal portraits, anime tattoos. What challenges have you come across with understanding such a range of styles?
That was a good question.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. And if I think about it, I find myself like where I have to stop and think, okay, what do I do here? It's, I think, trying to decide how much information to keep on the designs because a tattoo will change with time. So how small can I go? How detailed? And I think while trying to capture the likeness of the portrait or the anime character, I think that's where I can find a challenge sometimes.
So anime tattoos, I can tell that's kind of like a specialty of yours. You do a lot of those. What's your favorite series, and has it influenced your art beyond tattooing?
Yeah, I think I'm still learning a lot about what's possible with anime, and there's some amazing anime tattooers out there. I love watching and learning. And I started watching, I think, when I was in Mexico. I was little, and there was Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
There was Seidy, and there was another one called Caballeros del Zodiaco, which translates to Knights of the Zodiac. And so this is the 90s. So, it was like just great to see the action scenes and then the drama.
With all the light in the background and flying in the air and all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I would just start drawing like Goku in middle school. And so I think people would like to see more of that. And it just got me to paint it. It got me to talk about it. And then just the cool lessons that you learn in some of these anime, you kind of can apply that to your real life.
Yeah.
And I really listen to that.
Anime has been picking up a lot, man. I get a lot of calls for anime, and it's going crazy. People want it. You got some tattoo artists that like that's all they do.
Yeah.
Just straight anime. Like I saw it, like you said, it in the 90s, but like it's growing now.
Yeah, like these modern day ones.
Yeah, because I was a kid watching it. Now you got grown adults that watch it faithfully. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot different nowadays.
And I think with Dragon Ball Z is one of those series that has been passed down to, like, the parents now show it to their children.
Yeah.
And then that gets passed down. So that's one of those series that I think connects us all so much. And like Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, some of these popular ones.
Yeah.
But it's fun to see what comes out nowadays too.
So let's talk about tattooing, and let's talk about tattooing in Clearwater. You know what I mean? So it's a different type of crowd. I don't know. Is that the only place that you've ever tattooed is in Clearwater?
No, there's Clearwater. There was Tampa. I was out there at University Mall with True Extreme.
Yeah, I know the areas to Extreme.
Much love, John. Yeah, that was a good opportunity out there. Yeah, it's a different crowd.
Yeah, it's just a totally different crowd. That's what I want to kind of touch on, the crowd difference. Like here in Clearwater, Florida, we get a lot of tourists.
Yeah, there's more tourism.
It's a lot of tourism. So people ask me all the time, like, do you think most of your clients are tourists or locals? And it's like, I think it's, I really don't know. I think it's pretty close. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like tourism and locals, but it's just like tourism is just at over a span of few months. You know what I mean? That is like real heavy.
There's a seasons like there's a flow.
But we still get a lot of local people.
Yeah,
I
think those are the ones that come over like during the slow season of tourism because that's their chance to get those horses. Yeah, and that's the locals. So yeah, I agree with you. I feel like it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, because when I moved, we moved the shops over here to Largo. It's a totally different crowd than St. Petersburg. We was trying to make sure that I was trying to make sure that I captured some of that beach crowd from Clearwater, because I get calls at night and everybody don't want to go to St. Pete.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we're in Clearwater, you're too far. We were drinking, and you know what I mean? So I'm like, man, let me get a shop closer to Clearwater. That way I could kind of capture both of them. But how do you feel about this year, 2025? We had all those hurricanes last year. More hurricanes than we ever had. You know, beaches got destroyed, remodeled. Just give me a little bit of your thoughts on that. What do you think that's gonna do for this spring break coming around? You know what I'm saying? The things that you look forward to.
Well, one thing I've learned living in Florida is people are resilient. Storms always come through, and people always find a way to like bounce back. So I think that part I like to see very much, how much stronger we come back. We help each other out. We look out for each other. So that's really good to see. I see more of that unity.
The unity, yeah.
And looking at like shops, if a shop was flooded in St. Pete or something, shops opened up, gave room for other artists to come over and like tattoo. So I like to see that. I like to assist with that as well.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Because nature, you know, you can't predict it.
Man, we had 3 back to back. Like it's never happened before, you know. But like I actually got lucky and I was able to drive through the beaches a couple of days ago, and it looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I didn't actually go out to the water, but you know, like the buildings and stuff. I didn't see trash out. I didn't see a bunch of branches and stuff. You know, I had all the debris. All the debris gone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to
like St. Pete Beach. You drive?
Yeah, I was St. Pete's, close to Treasure Island. I was on golf.
So I haven't been down that low yet. Clearwater got torn up pretty bad.
It was bad.
A lot of businesses had to
we went through Clearwater.
wipe out.
It was horrible.
And I've met some of the clients. Some of my clients worked on the beach, so I hear it from their point of view too. Some of them are still trying to look for a job or something.
A lot of them lost their job. I had people come to me like, just lost my job, I need a tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, man, thank you for the tattoo, you know, for the business, but damn, what you gonna do now? You know? So I've had that a few times too. So next question, it says community support. We're gonna touch on community support. You've mentioned a love for your community. How has this shaped your career and approach to tattooing?
Oh, the community, you know, I feel like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. They gave me an opportunity with the art, just trusting me with their tattoos, even if it's, or a mural, drawing a mural for like a local shop or a logo, something like that. And so I think that encouraged me and inspires me to just keep pushing myself and how much more I can grow or bring to them, like to give back to them.
Yeah.
As much as they've given me, I have to like treasure it, appreciate it, and then bring back even more to them.
Yeah,
so
I like that.
That's how I see it.
I like that a lot. So I'm gonna get back to question 5, but I want to jump into question 6 first. So it says signature projects. Can you share a tattoo project that pushed your skills to new levels?
A lot of them feel like that, and for little reasons.
Yeah.
And I think I really feel it with portraits, especially if someone doesn't have a good photo of that person.
Yeah, I know.
I have to reconstruct it from others.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, how can I draw this? How can I put this together and make it look like that person? So when I achieve it, I feel like I've definitely grown more.
Definitely, yeah. And that's one of the things I want to make sure I capture on camera. If you want a portrait, make sure the picture is doable.
Yes.
It definitely challenges the artist. No matter how great the artist is, like we can't make up a nose if we don't know what the nose looks like on that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the nose and the lips, that's that person. You know what I mean? So if it's a portrait's not good enough, I can't do it. I turn out a lot of portraits, tattoos because of that reason. They want me to do something, but the picture that they got is like super old. I can't do anything with it. So I'd rather not do it than to do it and don't do it right.
Right.
You know?
And I stand with that too. And they understand it and they appreciate it more than anything. So.
Or somebody who wants a tiny, tiny, tiny portrait. I like doing a tiny, tiny portrait.
Miniature ones.
Yeah, man.
Let's take more pictures.
Yes, please. All right, so we're going to touch on award recognition. I seen that you got a few awards, all right? I seen that you got one at, I want to say Ink Mania. Yes. So what's been the most rewarding award or recognition you've received? And what did it mean to you?
That's a great question too, because I think they all are very special. Just the fact to be there around so many artists and to get that chance to show your work.
Yeah. And then actually win.
Yeah, that just to put it in there is already a win. That I'm here and I can put it in the category.
But then somebody else recognizes and says, you know what, that one deserves the trophy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
So that every single one means something, whether third or second or recently the first place. I think that one is the most special right now because that was a dream before when I started. I wanted to have a first place in a black and gray like realism. And then I felt like once I get there, let's see what else is possible. Yeah. But so that was a very special one.
That's
because
good.
last summer.
Yeah, last summer, right? That Ink Mania. They got, I think Ink Mania is coming back this next month, right?
April.
April. Yeah, Ink Mania is going to be in that one.
Yes.
Yes.
We just got the booth.
Yeah.
Number 63.
Number 63. That's what's
Florida State Fairgrounds, and they're collabing with the Lowrider show too. So that's really exciting.
I noticed that you got a lot of lowriders on your Instagram.
Yeah.
A little bit about that. I mean,
like personally, I've never built one or it wasn't around me, but I've appreciated it just because of the history of it, of how it started, and the collabing. It just merges with tattooing, that culture, music.
Is that more of your Mexico background, or would you say that's more of your California?
I feel like
a little bit of both. You know?
I feel like it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It's like because
you probably
I love repping the Mexico culture and where it comes from, but because I was born in the States, I relate very much with the California culture because I wasn't raised in Mexico all the way. So I feel like I'm in both worlds.
And you probably was first introduced, I mean, I could be wrong, but I would imagine that you probably was first introduced to it in California.
Yeah, definitely. And
they're big.
In hip hop, MTV, and seeing it, and just how the world perceives me. They'll see me and they think, oh, you're a California girl. It's like, okay, well, what does that mean? And so just learning more about that. And I mean, and when you get to see them up close and to see the work they put into these cars, every little detail, mind blowing. I love it.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Like what they do with the paint, the designs. They got the sparkles in the paint. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And it's like they really want to capture the culture too.
Yeah.
In the cars.
The culture in the car, correct? Yeah.
So like tattoos, I think of them like that art on the lowrider. Your body. You're gonna be repping. You're gonna be expressing yourself. So like, what do you want?
Yes.
It all connects.
Facts. So we're gonna touch on a little bit about your shop. You work at an awesome shop, Fastro Tattoos on your hat. I've heard of you guys way before I met you, whatever. You guys been putting in work for a long time. One of the tattoo shops that I respect. You know what I mean? I never get anybody in my shop saying, hey, I got this tattoo from Fastro. Can you cover it up? Never. I never got anything like that. And I get. I'm sure you do too. Get tattoos from from other places. Like, oh my God, they did that over there. So can you tell me a little bit about your shop? Like, what's the vibe with the shop? You know, how many artists you guys got in there? What are y'all doing? Just, if you want to shout out some artists, that's cool. Just what y'all got going on over there. I support that. I fuck with that. So if you want to shout anybody out or whatever, just tell us a little bit about your shop.
Thank you. We love being here, especially in Clearwater. Like, since I grew up there, I felt like it was the best spot to open up because we know the community, the city, they know us. They know us growing up around here with our art. And so Vasto Tattoos is a combination of Vasquez and Castro, which is my family name, and my wife's family name, who is Chep1 Arts. She's the other artist in the shop with me.
Okay.
And we met, I want to say about 13 or 14 years ago at a shop tattooing. And we both had a dream of one day opening our own studio one day and opening the doors to create a space for other artists who come in,
That's awesome.
work their craft. We all learn and eventually hit up the conventions and be one of those booths where everybody gets an award or something.
Yeah.
That's the long-term dream.
So you guys are kind of like man, my lady. So we work together and everything.
Yeah, there you go. Dynamic duo.
Yes.
There you go.
For sure. Yeah.
So we took that to heart. And so it's just like a product of our love and hard work, and also dedicating it to our families who worked hard to get us to where we are today. And we met a lot of artists that have worked with us at the shop, but right now strongly is just Natasha and myself. And so this year we're really looking forward to pushing more because we've been open for about almost 5 years. We opened in 2020. It was like the peak of COVID.
Yeah.
We did not expect
That was
that at all.
a lot of tattoo shops went out of business.
Yeah.
You know, because of COVID.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. We didn't know what was gonna happen. We tried to prepare for the worst, hope for the best. But that love of the support of the community, they were like patient. They were eager to get in the shop or get us to go to them, and we were just like, let's just pass this scary storm, and then we'll figure out when to. But everybody was just ready, waiting for us to open the doors. So that was really good.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. You guys ever think about a second shop, or you guys think about bringing in more people?
We do.
Expanding?
Yeah, we do think about it, especially Tasha's background is Puerto Rico, and she grew up there, started her tattooing career there. So we think about maybe Puerto Rico or maybe California. I have family out there, but we just need to expand and really get to know, or they get to know us too, what we can offer.
Yeah.
So that might be the next 5 years, the dream. The next.
We got to get her in here too, man. Like,
Yeah.
All you ladies, y'all do some awesome work.
I'll do some guest spots.
Yeah, something. I'm down. I'm cool with that. Definitely.
Likewise.
Let's talk about balancing creativity. All right. How do you manage the precision of realism while staying artistically inspired?
Yeah, because I feel like when clients come to me and they ask me for something, but then they say, you have total freedom, do whatever you want to do to this. So I think I get excited. I just think, okay, let me just make sure I catch what the client wants to see in this. Everything else is just whatever feels right, I think. And also experimenting with what looks good and what's going to last a long time too, this tattoo.
I think that's like one of the hardest things is like balancing, making it look good, but then also making it last. You know, because it can look good for 6 months, but then, you know, it's not going to last, you know, by trying to capture what that person wants.
Right.
You know, so that's a good point. A lot of times you have to let them know what's going to work and what's not going to work. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
And as far as from what I've seen this far in my career. And so I just try to educate them on it while also just having fun.
Exactly. And most of them be like, oh, okay, glad you told me. You know, let's do it different. You know, so that's cool. That's always a good.
Because sometimes I'll do more of what they want, and it's a little bit, and maybe it's not so much fun. And then at the end of the session, you're like, oh, why am I so drained, or maybe I didn't have as much fun because I didn't allow myself to just have fun with the design.
And sometimes the pressure.
Yeah.
The pressure don't let you have fun. Like,
right.
It's a lot of, people don't understand that tattooing there's a lot of pressure. Especially like when you're doing walk-ins. Like for me, I was so glad when I stopped doing walk-ins because I like walk-ins, you know, but it's not my favorite thing to do because for me, I work better when I know what my client wants. I can actually sit down, set a time for it. I can have an opportunity to develop what I'm going to do, share it with them. We're both happy when I see you now. It's like, okay, let's do this tattoo. When you're walking in the door, it might be 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock. I don't know what you want. You know what I mean? I have no idea what you want. So it's like a pop quiz. You know, give me a dog with a hat holding the balloon. Like, all right, let's do it. You know?
Yeah.
You know, so.
It's like, all right, that exactly thing you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's true. That's what I'm still learning.
Okay, Tattooist healing. What role do you believe tattoos play in your clients' personal journeys of healing or self-expression?
I think it plays a very important role in the way that they're going to be affected. Like every day when they see it, it's going to be either healing in a way, like portraits, especially going back to that. I see a lot of like joy that now they have their loved one with them, and then now they can like face the next day, or move forward in the next chapter.
It's like it's on, so it's like
like okay, I got you with me. Let's face the rest of this world together. Or it can just heal them from something in the past, or it brings them that joy, a little bit of joy, that little reminder every day. So I think that will manifest how their experience will be. In every day.
In every day, moving forward, everyday life.
And how people will see it too, how they'll interact with you because they see this tattoo on you.
For real.
So that's really awesome, really
And
important.
most portraits are always like conversation pieces.
Yeah.
Like, who's that? Oh, that's a nice portrait. Who did that?
Or something you can see from like 10, 20 feet away,
Mm-hmm.
and they just have to come up and ask you about it.
Yep.
So I think that's really special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To be an artist and be able to do that for somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I paint you something, you're going to leave it in your wall at home or something, but this is something you're going to carry with you all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
All the time.
So it's powerful.
It's very
thing.
powerful. It's very powerful. It's a lot of energy, you know, because even after the tattoo's done, the energy that was put in it is still there. You know what I'm saying? It's still there. And then that's something that most of the time when I'm doing tattoos, the client's talking to me about whatever they're going through, if they're going through something. So a lot of times that was their opportunity to kind of get that out while the tattoo's happening. So it's even more of a complete feeling,
Right.
you know, once the tattoo's done.
I think actually Big Mo made a quote about this or a comment. He said it turns into like a therapy session.
You're correct. Turns into
Yeah,
a
like
therapy
we're
session.
just here. We thought we were just doing a shift, but next to the now, yeah, session. I learned something. I healed. They learned something, and they healed.
And then I'll see you next time. Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. So mentorship. As a veteran in the field, which you're a veteran at this point, you're winning awards and shit, you're a veteran at this point, got a shop, got your own shop, so that's awesome. So as a veteran in the field, what advice would you give an emerging tattoo artist?
Yeah, I think what I took when I was starting out was to just have an open mind, to always learn and realize that things are always changing or improving, while also remembering the basics and like where everything comes from, because that'll help you figure out where you want to take it once you figure out how to do the tattoo.
Correct.
And then it's like, okay, now what next?
Yeah.
Or how am I going to stand out from everybody else?
Correct.
And so I think that's important. Have an open mind, be kind to yourself, and you're learning. So
don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up. But also do recognize, like, if you need to improve on something, don't be afraid to ask the questions and reach out.
Keep an open mind.
Yeah.
You know, it's a learning process. You're always going to be learning. So, I mean, even when you know what you're doing, you're still going to be learning.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of artists kind of, when they first start, they're so, strict on trying to learn what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? But you're always going to be learning.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You can only get better at the things that you're learning, but you're always going to be learning something different.
Right. That one mistake could be a really good lesson. And if you really pay attention, you may not make that mistake again, or it'll be smaller in the future. And then you leave room for having more fun with your creative.
And with being fun and creative, that's where the growth comes.
There you go.
You know what I mean? That's where the growth comes in. So,
like, what?
Yeah. Sometimes I shock myself sometimes too. Like, I do something, I'm like, damn, I shocked myself on that one.
Yeah. Right?
But I noticed what I did, and it was based on a past experience in tattooing. So I'm like, on this time, let me with my technique, I might do a different technique that I recognized from a previous tattoo. So it's always correcting and learning, and it's always just.
So that's what I would tell them: just keep an open mind, reach out to the ones that are already in this, and take advice from the ones that are where you want to be.
Facts.
Don't take advice from somebody who tattoos. Yeah, they're not going nowhere. 10 years and they're not going anywhere. It's like, think about that advice.
Yes, yeah. So what do you feel about when it comes to new inspiring artists? What do you feel about the machines? Because I mean, back in the day, if you wanted to learn, the first thing they'll tell you is, well, listen, grab a coil machine. That's the easiest machine to deal with.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I kind of feel like nowadays, if you grab a coil machine, your quality is still not going to be what someone with a nice rotary machine quality is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's up to debate, maybe, because there are some awesome things you can do with the pen, but at the same time, some great things you can do with the coil. I think you just gotta learn what's your preference. It's good to know both, so you understand the differences and what you can accomplish with each one. So knowing the difference between the coils and the pen and where it all comes from, and then also just that allows your personal style to grow. Because for example, the coils for me were nice, but I think they just became heavier for my own personal hands. So that you learn with time, and then with the pen, I just feel like it's a pencil.
It's a pencil.
So that just feels more natural. So I think people just need to give themselves that chance to try to figure out what works best for them.
I kind of feel like once you start off, I feel like if you start off with a coil, you can easily gravitate towards a rotary machine. But I think once you start with a rotary, you don't want to touch a coil.
Right. I mean, with the coil, I think is that fun part of getting all the pieces together and make sure it's tuned correctly, and then you're gonna tweak it. It is. And with the pen, you're just like, okay, set it here, ready to go.
Yeah.
So I think with time, I've learned I like that better because I don't want to sit there too long messing with my machine.
Yeah.
While it's awesome,
Yeah.
it's like, I think like, I don't know, I don't think about anything about cars, but like when you like to feel the car, how it works versus when it's just like an electrical car.
True.
It just goes.
It just goes.
And I've heard that comparison with the coil and the rotary.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you got to get from point A to point B. How do you want to get there?
You need a car. Some type of car, yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
Some way to get there.
I mean, I like coil. I use coil for years. But then, like, if I had a detailed piece to do, I would do my shading with a rotary. Just because for me, it was better, it was smoother.
Yeah.
But I love doing lines with a coil. You know, I would do some amazing lines with coil machines and shaders and stuff like that. So I think for an artist coming out, honestly, whatever you grab a hold to, you just got to grab a hold to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just work it. And then with time, you'll figure out what works best for you.
Right.
You know?
It could be as easy as a pick and poke.
Yeah.
Or like a bamboo needle or something. I don't
You
know.
just got to figure out what works for you.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I tell like, cause like she was saying, we do a little teaching. I do a little teaching. I do coaching. I also have a course out that I have of like a little beginner's course or whatever. But I tell artists all the time, man, there's no one way. You know, there's because everybody's hand speed is different. You know what I mean? Depending on what you're doing, your technique, maybe. So there's a concept of it, but there's no, oh, you're doing it right and you're doing it wrong. I think the right and wrong is when you finish with your tattoo.
Yeah.
What it looks like and what it lasts.
Right. How it's gonna
That's the right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're destroying somebody putting kilos all over them, then obviously, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Learn more about your machine, I think, or whatever you're using. Just understand how it works.
How it works, yeah. And then what techniques work with how it works.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go to the next question. Representation in art. How do you incorporate elements of your culture into your designs, and why is that important to you?
Right. I think, well, being from Michoacán, there's a lot of awesome traditions like Day of the Dead or the style of embroidery. So, and nature.
I seen you did one of those too. I seen one of that looked just like embroidery.
Just like is it? Not thank you.
I haven't tackled one of those yet. I'm like, man, I don't even know if I can hit that. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I don't. It looks like a lot of patience.
Yeah, you know, little lines. Just taking your time.
Your time.
Draw it out. Figure it out, like colored pencils and markers, and then
that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
You did a great job on it. I've seen one of those.
Thank you so much. So I like to capture those type of things that I know that, like, I guess my culture is known for.
Yeah.
In a way. And then just put that kind of love into the tattoos. Sometimes it could be something that has nothing to do with my culture, but I'm gonna like treat it as if it was.
Or it could be the other person's culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So then I learn about their culture, and I think that's what I also love about it, that this encourages me to learn about the culture. I could either just draw an Athena on there or a Zeus, but if I actually dive into it and learn about it,
Learn about what you're
Greek culture, Roman culture, then it just kind of
helps you get involved.
helps me to better understand what can I do with this tattoo, what's important.
Yeah, I'm the same way too. Like when I get tattoos, the people might book with me and say, "Hey, I got this going on, I got that going on." But once I get involved, I'm asking like, "What's making you get this tattoo? What does this mean? Like, just tell me a little bit about it." That helps me to, okay, let me give him what he's looking for. Let me give them what they're looking for because I have an understanding.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just saying, "Okay, this is what you want," lay down, let's do it.
Right.
Try to have an understanding. It gets me into it. I think that's a challenge as an artist. Like, we like to get into our tattoos. You know what I'm saying? We like to get into our art. So a good artist is gonna want to ask questions and kind of figure out why the client is doing this. What does it mean? You know, I do that a lot, you know, so I understand.
Yeah. It makes a difference. They end up with a tattoo. Sometimes they're like, I didn't even know this was possible. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like an outsider looking in.
Looking in, for sure.
So I hear you.
Studio life. Let's talk about the studio life, tattoo studio life. It's crazy. What are you guys' hours? What hours do you work? What days do you work?
We are open Monday through Saturdays. Sundays we're usually off. And we're open 12 to 8 p.m. during the week. It can vary depending on what we're doing that day. Sometimes we'll be there later. But those are nice hours. We don't have to wake up too early, and we don't have to be up too late. Yeah.
Perfect.
Unless you need to.
Unless you need to.
Yeah, I think it gives us like flexibility to adjust to it.
So what makes Vatral's tattoo stand out as a studio, and how does it reflect your artistic philosophy?
That's a good one. Yeah, we were asking ourselves this a lot about opening up, because we do have a lot of shops in that area.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shop everywhere. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, I looked up and it's like a shop on every block. When I first started 2015, it wasn't that many shops around like that.
Yeah.
They're everywhere now.
Yeah, out of nowhere. And so we did wonder, what are we going to offer that nobody else does, or what makes people come back? And I think there's nothing better than asking the clients and getting their feedback. Why do they keep coming back to you? And first of all, we love the shop. We love what we do. So it's nothing but love in there. It's safe. It's
Great.
friendly. Yeah, it's very relaxed. We just want to do awesome tattoos in a good, clean environment where we all feel comfortable. And people love that. They feel welcome when they come there. They feel like they're with family.
Like family, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, because we are very much family oriented. So we want you to feel like family or a friend member that's coming in,
Facts.
getting some tattoos.
A guy told me a long time ago, he's like people will forget what you did for them, but they don't forget how you treat them. You know what I'm saying? So I stand on that. You know what I mean? Like, I can do whatever for you, but I make sure that I always treat a person nice.
Yeah.
I try, if they deserve it. I can be mean too, but most people, I try to be nice to those people.
Yeah.
And make sure that I leave a input or leave myself in their minds, because I was such a nice person to them. You know what I mean? Because people, like, they forget what you did, but they never forget how you treat them.
Yeah.
So I go out of my way to treat people kindly in my shop anyway, just in general, but I found that when I learned that little saying, I realized that it is really true.
It is very true.
It's very true. I didn't know that was true. I think I learned that when I was like maybe 25 or 26. And I'm like, man, this shit works.
Right.
This is for real. Like, thank you for telling me that.
We may have heard it, but we didn't understand.
You didn't understand it, yeah.
How it plays out. And that's true.
That's very true.
Strong.
So I stand on that for sure. And that's what's up, man, because you guys are in Clearwater, and like I heard about y'all, so I was really, really happy when you decided to do it, you know what I'm saying? And especially since Emma, shout out to Emma, she shared both of us.
Shout out to Emma.
Yeah, shout out to Emma, she shared both of us on her page, and that's when I started looking in. I was like, I heard that. And I started looking into it. I was like, okay, well, Emma, she gotta be cool, because she shared both. If we're the only two tattoo artists she shared, like out of all of the tattoo artists in this area, she shared both of us. So I was like, that's what's up. So shout out to Emma for making this happen.
Yes, we're having a great day.
Facts.
And so I think that's strongly it. Just the vibe they get when they first come in, without even getting the tattoo done yet. We listen to them also while trying to educate them on what's possible, what's real with the tattoos. And I think they just really appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate
that.
Being genuine.
Yeah.
They're clean.
Yes.
Because that's a big thing too.
Yes.
All right, so connecting with clients, we kind of touched on that a little bit, but how do you ensure that each tattoo reflects your client's vision while staying true to your artistic style?
How do I ensure catching their vision? Well, I guess, again, it just goes back to listening and asking the right questions. Because sometimes I'll ask them a question they haven't even thought about how it's going to look, or how it's going to heal, or how is it going to really be on the skin. So I think that makes a difference, and it helps me design what I need to do while doing my own thing.
Yeah.
But also understanding this is for them. So it's like, I want them to love it when they see it. So it's that walking that fine line.
I think that kind of goes both ways, because a lot of time the clients, like, this is what I want, but I want you to do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they want you to do your thing, and we're wanting you to do our thing and still do their thing. So it's like we're both on the end of wanting the same thing.
Right, because once that tattoo leaves out the door, the world's gonna see it, and everyone's gonna see it and have different opinions about it. So that will affect how the person feels about their tattoo. So I have to also just kind of make sure you're happy with it. You know, it's what you want, and we'll just make it look good.
The rest
At
is
the end of the
history.
day, yeah. Simple is better than having to get too complicated
Too
sometimes.
complicated, yeah.
Yeah, keeping it simple.
I hate when people come to me and they want their whole life into one tattoo. Like, oh my God, I can't make this tattoo about 7 different things. You know,
You know, this
that's
behind your whole back.
I mean, let's just do the first thing, and you got the rest of your body to do everything else. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
They try to jam it, and then you know that's how you get like a bad tattoo that just didn't heal right. You know, so
Right, or it just doesn't make sense.
and they're like, "What is that? Yeah, what is that?" All right. So, are there any personal or professional goals you're working towards for 2025?
Yes. So the
This is
convention.
the first month of the year right now.
Yeah, first month of the year. Just start off doing what we've been doing. Reflect on like what have I been having fun with? What do I need to kind of improve on or research more on? So I think I just want to reach out more to artists that are where I want to see myself in like about next 10 years. Connect more. And I think just keep up with the conventions because I love getting to meet the people in different places and artists too.
So a lot of networking happens at these conventions.
A lot of that. I think really, really push on that and prepare the studio for when they come and visit us. If you want to do a guest spot or something.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Just
love to.
that, and learning. I think just pushing the art skills too outside of the tattooing.
Outside of the tattoo,
Creating
correct.
more art.
Yeah, more art. 'Cause it's so hard. I mean, like for me, man, it's so hard for me to actually sit down and draw at this point in my career because I have so much going on, you know, inside of tattoos, outside of tattoos. So it's just very hard for me to draw. So most of the time when I do a tattoo, that's like my drawing outlet. Like, you know, that's the only time I really get to do art.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, it kind of comes with it as you, whatever way you're trying to go.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
just kind of like learning how to manage your schedule and research. I just try to really make time for it, or at least an hour or something.
Yeah.
Sketching or even just learning about something that I'm interested in and then trying to illustrate on that. Like, I think it's really good to take those moments and slow down a little bit more because I was just going, and then it's just like, oh, okay, what am I doing?
Yeah,
You know, what have I done this last couple of years that's like me? And there's when I don't have really much, it's just like, okay, what do I want to do? Because I wake up and it's like, oh, I want to paint today.
Yeah.
And instead of telling myself, no, I have to go do this or I have to go do that, I really want to take the time to paint. Usually just a little while, even if it's just some watercolor or something. Go on live real quick and do something. Yeah,
Just do something that makes
to
you
have fun with it.
Yeah.
And so personally, I think that's more just slowing down and like enjoying every step, but not get so caught up in like what's gonna happen in 5 years, you know?
Just enjoying the journey.
Yeah, enjoy the journey.
Enjoying the journey, yeah. And I think that's very important because a lot of times we're so caught up in just trying to get to.
Yeah.
A lot of places that we plan on get to, you're gonna arrive to other places before you get to that place. So it's very important to just enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride, enjoy the people that you meet, enjoy the networking that comes your way, enjoy just enjoy the journey, man. You know what I mean? Don't be so. I know exactly what you mean.
Like that self-care.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting time into yourself.
Into yourself, exactly.
I do want to be around the next 20, maybe 30 years still doing this, and we'll see what we're doing then. Maybe teaching, because that's always been an idea too. Like, eventually, what do I do with all this knowledge and experience?
Yeah.
Got to pass it on to somebody.
It'll come, and just as you enjoying the journey, man, and just being happy, it'll come. It'll come right there to you. So that's awesome. And I'm really glad that you came to the show out. I'm glad to have you here. That's awesome. it's not on our questions, but I seen that you was, when I contacted you, you was recently on vacation.
Yeah.
I didn't have an opportunity to ask you how that went. So how was your vacation? Where did you go? What did you do?
I went back to Michoacán, and so I went back to the little pueblo where my family's from.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been almost 3 years since I had gone back.
Yeah.
And I miss it. Like,
Yeah.
I want to go more regularly.
Yeah.
The flight was good, trip was good, no lost luggage and no troubles.
That's awesome.
So that was good.
That's it.
And but being out there, especially now in this age, it's
Mm-hmm.
nice to just kind of like, you see it with different eyes. You
Mhm.
appreciate the
Yeah.
little things.
And you still got family out there and stuff.
Yes, I
right?
have some aunts and cousins.
So that was always a blessing to go back home. I know everybody's happy to see you.
Growing up, yeah, seeing them. They have questions about tattoos, so they'll ask me, "Hey, when are you gonna bring your machines?"
Yeah. You're like, man, I'm on vacation. I'm not over here to work.
Yeah, we could talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it, but that's not.
I gotta do another
Yeah.
trip
Yes.
and tattoo them. So I love that. Just like strengthening that bond with my
Mhm.
family
Mhm.
that I don't get to see regularly, and cousins that maybe I didn't even know I had.
And I know they're proud of you. You know what I mean? So they love to see it. What I noticed too about my, like, just being who I am and
Mhm.
my family situation, the little ones coming up, you never notice how much you motivate them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
So the things that you do allows them to understand that that's possible.
Yeah.
Like for me and my family, I'm one of the, there's not many entrepreneurs in my family, but I'm one of the biggest entrepreneurs in my family. And I've noticed that my nieces and nephews, like, they're coming up and they're calling me, asking me questions, and they want to be an entrepreneur, you know?
Yeah.
And so you never
That's
know
beautiful.
how much they look up to you. It just lets them know that it is possible,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah.
I think that's what I love about it. I want to go back and say, "Hey, look, see
Yeah.
what we're doing."
Yeah.
And
It motivates. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, man. It motivates. A child will look up to you and you won't even know. You know, like my nephew, he told me when he was like in his, I think he was like 28, 29, he was like, "Uncle, I always looked up to you."
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Oh my God, what?" You know what I'm saying? But he's like, "Yeah, I always looked up to you." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing the things you be doing, man. And, you know, even when hardships come or whatever happens, you always bounce back and go hard. And so I understand.
Yeah, you're right. They're watching.
They're watching.
They are watching.
They are watching.
And we get so caught up in what we think we're doing or how we see ourselves. That you're right. We forget how they would see them.
They see you. They see you like a super person. You know what I mean? Because what you're doing is like, oh wow. To you, you're just doing it. It's your passion. It's your calling. So you make it look easy.
Mm.
You know, you make it look easy. So you got to keep that in mind too.
That's true.
Yeah.
We're out here.
For sure. For sure. So before we wrap this up, any questions you have for me? Anything you want to ask me? This is an opportunity to ask me anything.
I think I just want to say thank you again for this awesome experience. And, you know, I'm excited for your future personal goals and see you guys get better, bigger, expanding. And I think a question is, what would you like to see artists talking about more? I think maybe like sharing more.
What would I like artists sharing more?
More of, yeah, like, you know, we share our art all the time. We share what we're into.
I want to see artists share each other more.
Each other.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I did this podcast.
Yeah.
It's because it's bigger than tattoos. Tattoos are everywhere. Tattoo shops are everywhere. But what's really going on with the artists? I'm not scared to share an artist.
Right.
You know, it's not going to stop my money in any kind of way. People that mess with you, they mess with you. People who mess with me. They love my company. I just want to be able to meet good artists, and put them on a platform, and don't be afraid to share artists. Like some people, they're scared you're going to take their money. You know, it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
There's so many people in the world, and everybody gets multiple tattoos. So there's enough money for all of us. We just need to be there for each other, support each other, and share each other, man. Pat each other on the back. Hey, I see you. Good job. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's giving. Like that's what I feel we should do.
Yeah.
You know, congratulate. You know what I mean? Yeah. Show some love. Show more love to one another. You know. Especially if you own a tattoo shop, you know how hard that is. It's extremely hard, you know. So I recognize that, and I just want other artists to recognize each other more.
I love that. I stand with that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's been so much of like the gatekeeping and like, it's just me. But it's like, I don't know if that may not help you last long enough because you're too caught up in this. Oh, they're gonna steal from me, or they're gonna take it from me. It's like,
and things have changed so much. So like, what you think that you're holding is on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Just be nice to people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you're not, you know, what you're holding is literally on YouTube, or somebody created a course for it. So, like, what are you holding? What are you doing? You know?
Yeah.
Let's open this thing up, man. Have fun with it.
Right.
And we're all around the same area. So why not? And
Yeah.
sure. So
I love that.
that's what's up. So listen, I'm glad you came out here. It was nice to meet you.
Me too.
Hopefully we can get your lady out here, you know, one of these days or whatever, and we're just gonna stay in contact.
Yes.
All right. So listen, that's Bigger Than Tattoos podcast. Seidy Inc. Right? Say that right?
Yeah.
Seidy Inc. That's what you guys can find her on her Instagram. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Straight up, yeah, you know we came way up. Hustle from the bottom, not look